It is time to get out of pocket. I'm your host, Michael Davis, and we are live on the Boom Broadcasting YouTube channel before your weekend, and it's a slammed weekend. Not only do we have SmackDown tonight, Mouthing Off with Mike will be on the nightcap later this evening after Friday Night SmackDown, but we also have the Royal Rumble this weekend. Again, Mouthing Off with Mike, the nightcap after the Royal Rumble, and we have Duke and UNC. And we have a week left before NBA trades are done and finalized for the entire season. So there's going to be a lot of stuff going on. We're going to play a little trivia game towards the end of the show. We're going to talk about Duke and Carolina. And as you can see, I didn't know exactly what to wear today. So I wore some Duke stuff. I'll explain why I'm wearing this jersey right here. We got the NBA trade deadline. Maybe Jimmy Butler leaves. But this ain't no Jimmy Butler jersey. This is a Tyler Hero jersey. You want to know why? Because your boy got an all-star selection. Him and Victor Wembanyama. See, I almost had that name. I almost had that name down to a T. Victor Wembanyama. If you guys didn't watch the show a year ago, I mean, it took me forever to get that right. Victor Wembanyama, Tyler Hero, among the first-time NBA All-Stars, and we're talking about it all. Now, if you guys realize we didn't do an Out Pocket yesterday because we have a slammed show today, but I did get to hop on a live stream last night hosted by this guy. He is the host of It Stinks. He is the host of Wrestling of Destiny, W.o.D, and he did a phenomenal job last night just organizing, hosting a live stream prediction show for the Royal Rumble itself. You guys can watch that on demand on the Boom Broadcasting YouTube channel, but we got to talk some NBA All-Stars. I got my guy, Shawn Lucas, here in the building, and joining us is somebody we also were joined by last night. He's the host of Quick Hits. He is podcast_Smitty. So we have a huge show. Guys, NBA All-Stars. We're already having some comments here in the YouTube. We got Jason, the host of Three From Deep. I'm sure he'll cover the NBA All-Stars when his show debuts on a Saturday tomorrow at noon. He does a phenomenal job. I don't know why he likes Syracuse. I mean, beats me. He doesn't pick good teams anyway. He's a Giants fan. And Four Sides of the Ring. Speaking of trivia, you're all right. It's going to be a blast. I hope they enjoy our little trivia segment later on this episode. This is the first time we're doing a real trivia segment on Out of Pocket. So that's going to be good. Jason, Jalen Brunson, and Kat among the All-Stars in the NBA. But guys, when you look at Victor Wembanyama, this is obviously the first of many NBA All-Stars. Shawn, are you surprised that he got the nod his second year in the league?
No, not at all, Mike. Not at all. I mean, Victor Wembanyama has been putting in work since he's came in. He's been doing his thing in San Antonio. He's the heart and soul of that team right now, pretty much trying to help them get that playoff push that they're looking for with Pop kind of out right now due to some sickness. So I'm not surprised he got the nod. And a lot of people got to remember back in the days when the 90s were all-star voting, it was so hard to vote because they pretty much put the voting where us as the fans could not get involved. And then there was something created called the internet that just changed the whole world evolution of everything. So now that we can vote, the thing is now, even in the 90s, when you wanted to vote for Jordan or Dominique, or you wanted to vote for Pat, John Starks, Karl Malone, John Stockton, them, you only could cast one vote. Now you can vote from your phone. You can get on the tablet, vote again. You can get on your laptop, vote again. You can go to work, vote from your work computer. You can go on your desktop, vote. You can vote, or then you can get your best friend's phone and say, hey, let me borrow your phone. I'm about to vote for NBA. So I'm not shocked that he's in there, but the voting now is just so much different than what it was in the past. So I think that's why you see a lot of more of the younger stars that would have got overlooked if this was still the 90s now making the All-Star League, All-Star team.
Dude, this is huge. And Jason, I'm going to assume this is Parisian something. I'm trying with that one. Repping Wimby's new nickname, Spread the Word. Okay. Just make it a little bit easier for me to say, because a nickname, if I can't say Wimbenyama very fluently, then I won't be able to say the pillar, whatever. Shannon, are you how are you feeling about Victor Wembanyama and even Tyler Hero getting their all-star selections this year?
You know, when you were in your intro, you sounded like me when I was trying to pronounce Tua Tagovailoa's name last year when I messed it up on Ryan's podcast. So you got to sound it out, man. And by the way, it's Parisian pillar.
There you go.
Don't let the teacher come out of me. Don't let me do that. I mean, for real, put that aside, and now I got to bring it out again. But anyway, back to your question, which was a very good question, by the way. So very good question. I am absolutely not surprised that Victor Wembanyama has made it. The young man is putting up quadruple doubles this year. He's blocking shots all over the place. He's shooting from the perimeter. He's making highlights. When the Olympics was going on, I said it on my show, QuickHits. Go back and watch. I said that he is the future of basketball, and that was it. That was it. He's the future of basketball with his size, with his height, with how he makes plays. He can pass it like a point guard. He can run the floor. He can shoot from the perimeter. He has post presence. He's a different look center, and he's a different player than what the league has seen. So it was only a matter of time, especially with the year that he had, which he should have won Defensive Player of the Year last year. But it's kind of hard to justify how a player on a 21-win team would have won the Defensive Player of the Year. So I get why they gave it to Rudy Gobert. I get it. Yet and still, he had the stats and he had everything to back it up. Now this year, it looks like he's just tearing from. He's turning the page. He's going back into it. And so, with all that being considered, he's been an exciting player. He's been fun to watch. He had a great Christmas game. It was only a matter of time. I wasn't worried. Good job. And Tyler Hero, too, which he's your hero now because your hero is about to leave. So he's got to be your hero now.
Hey, the butler who used to serve the Miami Heat organization very unselfishly, he's on his way out. So when the butler leaves, you need a hero to step up. And I am so happy because it has been like a tougher season for Miami, not just with like the record. I mean, I expected us to be hovering around the play-in 500, but with all the Jimmy Butler drama, like when Jimmy Butler's not in the arena, Miami and this young core are stepping up, and it's because of Tyler Hero's career year. I mean, having career highs across the board when it comes to averages. I am so glad he did get that final reserve spot. And this is really cool because, like, Shan, when you were talking about Wemby being the future of basketball, I mean, I just look at the starters and the reserves, and Jason brought up Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns as, two of the all-stars they're starting for the East with Donovan Mitchell, Giannis, Jason Tatum. And then you got the West. You have the older crew in the West. You got Steph, you got LeBron, you got KD, but then you have Nikola Jokic and SGA. But looking at these reserves, I mean, you could even say like most of these reserves, aside from Anthony Davis and James Harden, would be just rising stars like just a couple years ago. You have Darius Garland, Cade Cunningham, Dame Lillard, another oldie, but you have hero, as we mentioned, Jaylen Brown, Evan Mobley, Pascal Siakam, Anthony Edwards, Jalen Williams, Sagoon from the Rockets, Jaren Jackson from the Grizzlies. I mean, this is a stacked all-star team, whether you look at it or not. And I'm not going to say that none of these guys deserve it. What I will propose is with a stacked NBA, there might be a snub or two here in the NBA All-Star game. Shawn, is there any name that sticks out to you of like, hey, this guy really should have gotten it, or are you fully satisfied and content with the roster they have?
I'm satisfied and content. I mean, if Jalen Brunson had not got up there, Carl Anthony Town for the Knicks, I would have been upset. I've been telling everybody I'm a Lakers fan, but I'm coming more and more every day undercover New York Knicks fan. The more I continue to watch them play on TV, I like the way they play. They play good basketball, fun basketball. They spread the ball, what I like to watch. But I don't think nobody's got snubbed when I look at the roster. I mean, the guys like, if you start thinking about the KDs, LeBrons, and the Currys, it's an all-star weekend. They're automatically going to get a pass. You think about Jordan his last year with the Wizards. Yes, he took somebody's spot because Vince Carter gave it up, but those three are going to get a pass. Could we put three younger people in the West in that spot? Absolutely. But, what's going to make people tune in? Watching Curry, KD, and LeBron play in it. Why people tune in. So you understand that. So I'm not disappointed. I don't think nobody got snubbed. But, you got to kind of get those legends in there to keep eyes on it. Because if you put too much young talent there, who's going to watch it?
That's true. That's true. Shannon, are you good with this list?
I am good with it. I like what Shawn did say. I do kind of have one name in mind that I do think might have been snubbed, and one of my good friends proposed this, but LaMelo Ball could have been one that might have been snubbed. But I can understand why he didn't make it because of injury. And of course, that Hornet squad has been up and down. I understand it, but it's been the injury thing. The injury bug has hit. It's hitting him and it's hitting his brother, and it's just one of those things where it just happens. But when he's on the floor, he's been a great player for that Hornets squad, and he's actually been very dynamic on that Hornets squad. But with all that being said, I like what Shawn said when he talked about how you're going to have a few rising stars in there, but that they're watching this because this is a fan game, or at least that's what we're told it is. So you want to see Curry and you want to see KD, you want to see Giannis and you want to see Jokic. You want to see those guys because if you're not seeing them, then you're not going to watch the game, contrary to what the ratings have been over the past few years. But you can also say that in almost every All-Star game in the four pro sports, with the exception of maybe hockey, because theirs is fun. But with the NBA, though, with what they've done with these rosters, I like what they've done. I like the West squad though. I think the West squad is probably my favorite, and I'm usually an Eastern Conference guy. I'm a Bulls fan, and yes, I have been tuning into the New York Knicks. Too. I'm not gonna lie, the New York Knicks are tough. I've been tuning into them. I've been tuning into the Mavericks as well too. I've been tuning into the Spurs. And that Houston Rockets squad I've been tuning into as well. That Houston Rockets squad is fun to watch. That Cleveland Cavaliers squad is really, really good. So it is balancing, and the NBA is passing along its power right now in the regular season as we speak. But when the playoffs come in, that'll be a different story. We will see. But from what I see, I like it.
He likes it. And I'll agree, like this is really stacked, and there's only so many all-star spots that you can give out. I know injuries play a factor into that. That's why Luka Doncic isn't there. LaMelo Ball might even be there too because, he's had a couple injuries. I know Tyrese Halliburton struggled early, but he's caught on here recently. He could have been a good spot. Kyrie Irving.
That's what I was just going to say.
Huh?
Yeah. I was about to say that, I'm a James Harden guy, but I mean, I could sell Harden for Kyrie and I still be satisfied.
And I'm not even a big Kyrie guy. We'll talk the Duke UNC game near the top of the hour today, but I don't even claim Kyrie half the time. But I will give him credit where credit is due with Luka's injuries. I mean, he's averaging around 24 points and 5 assists. He's hitting 50% of his shots, 40% of his threes. There's only 3 other players who are making those stats. You got Tyler Hero, my guy. You got Nikola Jokic, and you got NY's guy, Jalen Brunson, and they're all stars. Oh, yeah. So I could totally see a scenario where, we could have put Kyrie Irving in for James Harden. But again, I understand there's only too many spots to go around. And so they did their justice. They did their due diligence with this NBA All-Star game. And it might be exciting. I just hope it's fun to watch for the fans. But I know it's going to be fun, maybe for some, watching over the next week to see who moves where. The NBA trade deadline is less than a week away. It is going to be on February 6th. next Thursday. So we might even get to do a special out of pocket while the NBA trade deadline's going on. We've done that before with the NFL trade deadline, one of our highest shows ever viewed for out of pocket. So that will be fun. But there's some interesting news coming out that, one of the teams that shocked me were the New Orleans Pelicans. They're looking to get into the Jimmy Butler sweepstakes. They're apparently inquiring about a Brandon Ingram for Jimmy Butler swap. I've been on record of saying Zion for Jimmy might be a good thing. Shawn, dude, are you seeing any of these moves in the future of the NBA?
I'm seeing them. I'm a Jimmy B guy, man. A lot of people don't like Jimmy. They think he's a team killer, a cancer killer on the team. I don't think so. I think Jimmy maximizes the team and get them to the best ability. He doesn't cash in and win the big one. We saw that in Miami, but he can take a team and have deep runs. That's why I like Jimmy. I was working on Saturday. I had to watch a lot of WGN games with the Chicago Bulls. Maybe a Jimmy B fan. But I can see this. New Orleans, since Anthony Davis has left, has been looking for a pillar person to put butts in seats and get people to come out to the stadium and watch the game. Zion supposed to be in that guy, but we obviously know Zion don't want to be there. I was looking on Facebook the other week. They're going off to a game, and he's in the picture in a nice Chevy Caprice on 24s at Burger King getting a Whopper Jr. or a Whopper or something. So I'm like, when I see that, I say, he's letting New Orleans, why are you holding me hostage? He wants to be in a bigger market, Miami, New York, LA, somewhere like that. Send him somewhere in a bigger market where he wants to be. He knows that's what he's worth, and I guarantee you when he gets traded, if he goes to the Heat, he's going to do a 360 turnaround and be the Zion Williamson that we saw at Duke University. Not this one we saw in the NBA where people start to say, is he a bust? Is he injury prone? I could see it. I would not get rid of Ingram. I would put Zion and some draft picks up to get Jimmy B. I think Ingram and Jimmy B could work good. The only thing I'm worried about it is Ingram doesn't need the ball to create his offense. Jimmy B likes to have the ball a lot, so I think they could complement each other off of that. But I would definitely get rid of Zion for him. And just free the guy. Let him go, man. He wants to go. Jimmy B wants to go. Trade for trade.
and the Pelicans aren't even letting Zion play back-to-back games. Like, that's ridiculous. Shannon, I could see that trade going down for real.
Please tell me that you saw when they interviewed Zion and he talked about he was able to play back-to-back games, but the problem is I'm employed with the New Orleans Pelicans. He didn't say he played for him. And that's what got me. He didn't say he played for him. He said he's employed. Like he's going to work for these people. Man, that tells me right there he's gone. That tells me he's right out the building. He's gone. That man is gone. He is gone. The Hanna-Barbera, that's him. He's gone. It's a wrap. That told me right there. When I saw that before we got on the air, I hollered because I was like, yep, that says it right there. Now, with all that being said, do you really want Zion to go to Miami? He going to get in so much trouble down there. Lord have mercy. I done told that man for the past 2 years, you better don't take him, don't get him to Houston. Don't get him to Miami. Don't get him in the big city. That boy have a fit. And he will have a daggone fit. And then Shawn made it even worse when he talked about he was in a Chevy Caprice with 24s on and getting the daggone Whopper from Burger King. That man don't want to play for them fools right there. He don't want to play for them. And then poor Jim, he got to be collateral damage because he don't want to go either. He's not going to win nothing. And it's a time thing for Jimmy. Now, I get that. It's a time thing for him because he's run out of time. Zion might have a career, but also with Zion doing this right here is telling me that Zion don't want to play for the Pelicans, but he'll go play somewhere else. Mm-hmm. I guarantee you the minute he leaves New Orleans and he goes somewhere, he's going to ball out and he's going to play. And he's going to do really, really well. So that might give a leg to stand on if his heart was really in New Orleans, which is pretty much showing that it isn't. And I think even more when he leaves, it's going to show that. But more than likely anything, I'm watching the De'Aaron Fox negotiation is what I'm looking at the most. Because De'Aaron Fox might be going to Houston. He might go to a contender. And we all know that De'Aaron Fox can shoot it out of the gym. He can score anywhere. And he can score at will. Going to a young Houston squad. Going to a Memphis squad. I don't know, man. It looks good. But I'm watching De'Aaron Fox. But Zion, he go.
Yeah, I would really like to see like Zion Williamson. Anytime he steps out on the floor, he's producing. He's not stepping out on the floor much. He's played like 13 games this entire year, but part of that's load management from the team. Part of that maybe he hurt his back or tweaked something. Pulling up to the drive-through, whatever the case may be. I mean, that's just the reality. But they are a 12-36 team. If he went to a team that pushed him, like Eric Spoelstra in Miami, and De'Aaron Fox and Bam Adebayo, they're really close. Bam Adebayo was in De'Aaron Fox's wedding as a groomsman. Just
That is
FYI.
right.
Just FYI.
That'd be a good big three right there. If you could get Fox, Bam, and Zion all together. I think if Zion got somewhere, and I keep telling people, I know everybody keeps saying he's a bust. I think somewhere in Zion, the Duke University Zion is somewhere buried deep in the bottom of his heart, and he's going to get back to that Zion that we saw with Duke that tore it up at Duke. Just in New Orleans, nobody wants to go to New Orleans. It's a football city. Who wants to go to it when you're second behind a football city?
Yeah, Shannon's already left the building. Now, Shannon did bring up De'Aaron Fox as potentially, somebody to go. Shawn, we've talked about Zion. We've talked about De'Aaron Fox. Could you see any other big NBA stars on the move that we should look out for here in the next week?
Not right now. I think Fox and Zion and Jimmy B and Ingram are probably about the big four I could see going anywhere. You'll probably get some fillers, some key role players come off the bench that go somewhere. But I think everybody else is pretty much locked in. Harden, he's not leaving where he's at right now. Who wants to go out and get Harden now? He's a shade of what he used to be. And I like Harden. He's a shade of what he used to be. And, I mean, New York, they're not giving up nothing up. They got what they wanted to get Cat in there. Milwaukee, they're not doing them big trades. They got Dame Dollar still over there. And then you got Minnesota. I could see Minnesota try to make a power play, grab somebody, but they're not the Minnesota we saw last year. So I can see them try to grab one more person. But as far as those four right there, those are the big four I see that's going to definitely have some interest on trade deadline day.
And there's some people who think that Bradley Beal could be moved. And I was originally like, if Bradley Beal, went to Miami, but Bradley Beal has a no trade clause. Like, he has to waive it unless he were to go to a team like Milwaukee in a deal where Bradley Beal goes to Milwaukee, Chris Middleton, Bobby Portis go to Miami, and Jimmy Butler go to Phoenix. Unless something like that happens, I could see Bradley Beal waiving anything and remaining in Phoenix and messing everything up. But they're currently the 9th seed in the Western Conference at 24-22. But they've won 7 of their last 10 with the core as it is. So I don't see Bradley Beal leaving. I also don't see this Kevin Durant to Oklahoma City deal happening that people keep like throwing out there. I mean, Shannon, it's ridiculous.
He is not going to Oklahoma City. That's the nostalgia and the storyline of us being wrestling fans and him going home and all this other stuff. It's not gonna happen. He'd be foolish to do it. And Phoenix ain't got no future. What in the world? Phoenix gonna try to get some picks, but they ain't nobody giving them any picks. I mean, all their picks. They don't have a pick until 2031. You done got rid of your whole future. No, it's not going to happen. But I am anxious to see if, like, my Chicago Bulls get rid of Zach LaVine. No one wants to take that guy. I don't think they do with the injuries and things of that nature. I don't think anybody wants to touch him. They got rid of my boy and sent him to the Kings this offseason. He went to the Kings this offseason. But with Zach LaVine, it's been trying to find a trade partner for him, and I don't think that's going to happen at all. When I say my man, I mean DeMar DeRozan is who I'm saying right there. But I don't think they're going to find a trade partner for Zach LaVine, not this quickly. And so that's the only one I can think of. But other than that, it's your usual three. It's the three we just spoke on.
I want to see DeRozan get a ring, man. I hate that guy that got one.
I know, and he can ball, man. And man, his heart was broke. His heart was broke when they got rid of him in Toronto. His heart was broken. He ain't been the same since.
No.
And it's funny because he's barely missed championship teams.
Right.
I mean, the Raptors won after he left. They broke up him and Kyle Lowry.
Yeah.
The Spurs won right before him. I mean, it's just like, man, he can't catch a break.
It's tough, man. It's hard being DeMar DeRozan. Now they're gonna get rid of De'Aaron Fox, and the Kings is not gonna be as tough, man, because the Western Conference is so tough. Like, the West is tough, man. I mean, and even the teams like like Denver, that is like kind of like down in Minnesota and all that other stuff. They're still tough. Like, put them in the Eastern Conference, and it's like, oh man, they'll kill it. But as far as that, it's like the West is just beating each other up, man.
And another one, if De'Aaron Fox is on the move, Sabonis could be another one. If somebody calls with a really good price, I mean, I would consider it.
Oh yeah,
especially if the Kings are tanking.
Yeah, I mean, like Sabonis can ball, man. He's a good player. His daddy, he played. I watched his daddy play when I was young, man. And now he's playing good ball right now. I'm like, man, this is great. I love it. I mean, for real, it's so wonderful seeing it.
And he is also a snub for the All-Star game. He's on pace to win the rebounding title for 3 years in a row. And when you think of all the great rebounders in today's game, and Sabonis potentially going for a three-peat, like the Kansas City Chiefs might do next weekend, but I digress. We'll have all of next weekend to talk about that. But what happens this weekend is the Battle of the Carolinas, the Battle of the Blues, Duke Blue, Carolina Blue. This is Cooper Flagg's first time playing UNC. And so, Cooper Flagg, another reason I wore this jersey is I need you to be a hero. I need you to be a hero for the Duke Blue Devils. And I need you to win, baby. I need you to win because much like Michigan and Ohio State, this rivalry means more. Shawn knows what I'm talking about as a Duke fan. Dude, what do you expect from this game?
Well, arguably, this is the biggest rivalry in all the sports. Now, I don't care what people can talk about NFL rivalries, the Michigan-Ohio State rivalry, USC-Notre Dame rivalry, USC-Stanford. This is the biggest rivalry. It's the most televised rivalry. You got people all over who tune into this game that don't even watch basketball, college basketball, just because of the heritage it has between both schools. Now, with that being said, it's at home. It's Cooper's first game. Cooper right now is on pace to probably be the ACC Player of the Year already for what he's been doing. The numbers he's been putting up 24, 26 a game. Last Monday night, we struggled against State, but we kind of broke away in the second half. And I told people going into that State game, I said, I don't care if it's Kevin Keats, Sidney Lowe, you go dig up Jimmy V and bring him back to sit on that bench. When State plays Duke in Duke, that's our hardest game. They take us to the limit. And I was so worried that game. I said, here's a game. It's a trap game before we get to this game because we're looking ahead. Hey, we know those kids are looking ahead to Saturday. Kids been staying out Shasheskyville all week. They were looking ahead. I need Cooper to come into this game and don't get caught up in the bright lights. And that's what we saw in the Kentucky game when we were a young team. He made a lot of mistakes you would see from a kid that's first year freshman on college playing in a big game in the big lights. I need him to come in another day at work, another day in the office. Play your game. He's gotten real good with that little left-handed hook shot. I'm starting to like that when he goes down low. He's gotten better with his ball handling skills. And I like that Shire now is kind of letting him create his shot without having to bring the ball up the court. We got the 2-point guards having that, the shooting guard having that, to let him be able to set up to create his shot to get if he wants to drive. If he does not get caught up in the moment and feel like that he has to carry the team and do just like he did the second half, because you got to remember that first half against State, he only had 8 points in the first half. The second half, he calmed down and let the game come to him. If he starts off like that in the Carolina game, I feel very confident my Blue Devils will win the first round of the Battle of the Blues. But it's going to be tough. It's Carolina, and I still say this about Carolina. Never underestimate Carolina because they did one thing that I will never forgive that team for. They beat me on senior night, retiring my coach his last game in Cameron. I have never got over that. And that was a team that was not expected to beat us. They weren't expected to beat us. We had just killed them in the Ding Dong a month ago. They came in and they silently killed us. Cooper, I think if you don't get caught up in the moment, play your game, we should be good.
Shawn, I was just taken aback right there because, the way you were analyzing Duke and their performance this year reminds me of your analysis with the Grit and Grind podcast with high school football over on the eastern side of North Carolina. You and your partner do a great job with that. So if you guys don't already follow them on Instagram or YouTube, go find Grit and Grind, because that type of analysis is why Shawn is one of the more coveted people that I can get to, scratch his brain a little bit. The three of us have done commentary training together. That's where we got our connection together. We'll talk about wrestling here in a second. Not previewing tomorrow's Royal Rumble, but throwing a little trivia. See where our brains are at. I'm going to throw them a huge curveball. They may not even make it past the first question. Who knows? We'll see. But it's kind of interesting when you talked about Duke and UNC not underestimating them. And I was very surprised. I mean, obviously, UNC hasn't had as strong of a year as Duke. Duke is the only rated team in the ACC in the top 25 for the AP. Duke, number 2, they're 18-2, 10-0 in the conference. UNC's 13-9. But to see that this line was at a 13.5-point spread shocks me just because of how this rivalry goes. There's never a blowout. This is always down to the wire. If you're a gambling guy, I'm not going to tell you what to bet because I don't want these death threats coming to me. But 13.5, I mean, I'll just let you decide what that is. But Shannon, I don't think anybody can underestimate the Tar Heels coming into Cameron this weekend.
Oh, but they have. Oh, I've heard it. You know when I heard it? Last year. When Cooper Flagg signed right middle, right at the butt end of the ACC regular season. Oh, that's all I heard. Rejoice, 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 rejoice. And Carolina went to an ACC tournament, but came up short to the NC State Wolfpack. Sad one. The baby Wolfpack had a great run last year in the NCAA tournament. That was wonderful to see. But that's all I heard all that time. Oh, it's Cooper Flagg. And then he's going and he's practicing with LeBron and them, the USA team. And LeBron is co-signing this guy and how wonderful he is. I've been hearing it ever since. I've heard it all spring long. Now, as a basketball fan, Cooper Flagg is playing good basketball. Very good basketball. He's a very, very talented player. I'm not a homer that much. I watch some basketball and I've seen good basketball. He's played very good basketball, exceptional basketball. I didn't laugh with the Kentucky game. I did not laugh because that is anybody out there that could do that, especially playing a Kentucky squad like that. And the SEC is killing basketball right now. Is killing college basketball. The SEC is what the ACC was now as the ACC was yesteryear, and that breaks my heart more than anything. When you see the SEC top to bottom playing very good basketball, it breaks my heart because you could take the top 4 teams in the ACC and pair them against anybody, and they kill everyone. But not this time because of the way that basketball is winning. But with that being said, do not sleep on the Ram. Do not.
Every time I hear that theme song, it just it's horrifying.
All right. We need to censor podcast me before we get censored elsewhere. Hey, if you're not counting them out, Shannon, what's your final score prediction and who you got winning this game?
It's gonna be a game. It's going to be a game. I really think that Carolina's going to have to. They're with their back against the wall. They're with their back against the wall right now. It's Fire Hubert and all this stuff, and the back-to-back losses did not help. Do I see Carolina in this game? I hope I'm absolutely wrong. I do see Duke winning this game, but I do not. But I hope I'm wrong. I'm like you, Michael Davis. I hope I am wrong. Definitely wrong. I pray that I am wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'm going to be a graceful fan and not say a word. But I will say this. there's a person that I want to get very, very bad. And Shawn, it's not you. Mike, it's definitely not you. It is my mother. It is my mother. My mother is the biggest Duke fan, the biggest Duke fan. My mother has tormented me horribly for years being a Duke fan. She is the reason why I'm not a Duke fan. Main reason why. I can't
Come
do
on
it.
over. Come on over.
I can't do it. No, I don't care. No. Shawn, I'm gonna tell you right now, there have been so many people that have tried to convert me, and it has been 38 years. And if I live another 38 years, the answer is no, not no, but heal. No. Not gonna happen. So that's the one I want to get is my mom. I just want to look at her. I don't want to say that. I just want to look at her and just say,
You sound like my dad, Shannon.
I just want to look at her. That's all I want to do is look at her. And just say, so, what do you want to talk about?
You sound like my dad. He's a Wake Forest fan, and he ain't had no good years since Tim Davis football. But he'll still wear that Demon Deacons hat with pride. I said, come on, Dad. You know, the same thing like you said. I'm a Duke fan because he was a Wake Forest fan. Growing up in a Wake Forest house when I was a kid. You know, we watched Wake Forest and Duke, and I said, Dad, who you pulling? He said, we're pulling for the Deeks over here. I said, who's the team in the blue coached by this guy with a name I can't say? 5 years old, I can't say. He said, we don't like that guy. I said, I think I like that guy now. Right. Somebody got to be the heel in the house.
Yeah. Oh, man, my uncles were the ones that got me being a Carolina fan. My uncles were. I love Mike. And, Mike went to Carolina. Really? Oh, okay, great. And I've been a fan ever since. But, Mom, I know my mom is a trip, man, when it comes down to these games. So we went from watching both games together when I was younger to then we watched one game, and now we just can't do it. I done said no. Like, are you going to watch the game with me, son? Why? No. See, it's not like your house, Mike, when you got a wonderful house and, your mom and dad are Dallas Cowboy fans and y'all can sit and watch the game and cry together in the corner when you get disappointed every year.
Whoa. Like out of pocket. Out of pocket.
Wait. Now. Okay, and it's not like your family, they're big Duke fans. You guys can watch the game together. You can do that. And then you can watch Duke choke in the NCAA tournament every single year like it's clockwork. It's not like that. I mean, for real, at my house is terrible. My poor dad. If there's someone you need to pray for, it's my father. Because my dad is in the middle. My dad is there. He's catching bullets from me and my mom. And he doesn't want to be a part of it. His name is Bennett, and he ain't in it. He doesn't want to be there. And my poor dad. I mean, for real. So if there's anyone you can feel sorry for and you need to pray for, it's my father. Because he's the messenger. Whenever mom and I are mad at each other, we talk through dad. And he's like, I can't do this, y'all. Stop.
Hey, speaking of fathers, by the way, my father's in the comments, and he knows Shannon. He said, thanks, bro. He's been fighting constipation. The Ram helped with a good BM. Now, whatever happened, I mean, I guess the Ram helped in the present tense of him to, make the bowel movement, and my initials are BMD, so I'm a bowel movement in the past tense. But Shawn, what do you have for this Duke and Carolina game? What's your final score prediction?
I can't give a score on it. I want to say Duke by 6 or 8. I think if we jump ahead, it gets close around that 5-minute mark. It's Carolina. That 5-minute mark in the second half is going to be tight. They're going to go. I tell people, if we get up 8 or 10 points, Carolina's going to be doing a run. They're going to get a run in this game. I already have accepted that. They're going to close the door and get it within a 2 to 3 point region. But I think in the final 2 minutes, that's where we pull away. That final minute, those fouls start coming in with Carolina. We're in the double bonus. We're hitting both of them. Duke by 8.
Okay.
And that's not a blowout. That's not a blowout.
It's definitely not 13.5, which is a huge, huge thing. Guys, for my prediction, obviously Shannon hopes he's wrong. Shawn, you got Duke. There's always a curse when, everybody picks the same person, but I don't like to be wrong. I don't bet based on what everybody else bets. I I go based on my gut and what I feel. And so when it comes to Duke and UNC this weekend, I think my prediction.
Uh-oh. See, you didn't want to say Carolina. You didn't want to say it, but I'll speak for Michael Davis on this one. Everybody, it's time to get out of pocket. I'm your host, Michael Davis. And I'm here to tell you right now, Carolina's going to win it. They're going to win it by 35.
That is Out of Pocket podcast, really. That is
I'm getting everything.
Whoa. Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
yes, sir. That is Out of Pocket.
I made your prediction for you.
Whoa. Can you see me?
Yeah. Oh, we can't see you. No,
we can't see you.
But that's okay. I made your prediction for you. You said Carolina's win by 35.
Wait, hold up. All
yes.
Right. Let me figure out this camera thing.
You're good, man.
Guys, get my prediction.
Oh yeah. We didn't get your prediction. I made it for you. I told you. I made it for you.
Well, no. I got my prediction. So my prediction for this game is I expect Duke to beat UNC this weekend.
Boo!
I got Duke beating UNC by 4.
No!
I have it.
No!
Shannon, I'm gonna be nice.
No!
nice. No. I'm gonna be nice, right? You know.
No, there's nothing nice about beating us.
It's not gonna be by 4. It's not gonna be by 4, but it's gonna be the same thing as football, where UNC's up 20, Duke battles back, wins by 1, just like in football this year, where I wore this shirt loud and proud. Our Hurricane stopped me from doing this months ago, and guess what, Shannon? We're going to beat you by 1. And even your Uncle Dean is predicting his favorite team, the Blue Devils, to win this game. It's going to be Duke. And Drew Good Sports Talk, what happened to your shirt? You got some...
Yes!
Whoa.
That's Out of Pocket. That's Out of Pocket.
See, I knew I liked Cody. I knew I loved that dude. Knew it.
Cody, I was about to sing your praises, to tell you happy birthday live here on Out of Pocket.
That's my guy.
But forget it now. That is an Out of Pocket comp.
Thank you, Cody. Thank you.
What's a guy from California rooting for UNC? This is the worst thing ever. Cody, there's a reason you're a Raiders fan. I'm just going to leave it at that. There's a reason you're a Raiders fan. But no, in all seriousness, there's a rumor on the web going around that it's Cody's birthday. If that rumor is true, happy birthday from your people at Boom Broadcasting. He does a lot of stuff behind the scenes, helping us out. He's a good guy, great guy to collaborate with. This is going to be a fun game, Duke UNC. You guys won't want to miss it, and it's going to be all fun. But if you're simulcasting, you could have Duke and UNC on one screen, and you can have the WWE Royal Rumble on the other screen. Last night, we did predictions. You know, Shawn, very gracious host of W.o.D, hosted Shannon from QuickHits, Michael from Outta Pocket, and Drop the Mic, and Mouth Off with Mike from his own YouTube channel, and the Nightcap. It was the first time ever we've collabed on W.o.D. This has been in the makings for about 6 months. And every time we try to do it, somebody schedules off, whatever. But we finally got to do it. It was a blast. So I purposefully didn't do predictions on Drop the Mic this week. And I'm purposefully not doing predictions on Out of Pocket today, because you guys will have that content for you live or on demand for the Boom Broadcasting YouTube channel. And Drew Code Sports Talk saying, great show last night. Super fun. So there's your reason. There's your reason to go watch it, have fun, have a great time. But guys, I wanted to do a little trivia game that we haven't done. You know, Cody and I were able to do this fancy draft of players in the NBA or college that we haven't seen yet. We'd want to see in person. He actually stole Cooper Flagg from me. If you haven't checked that video out, it's on Boom Broadcast. It's Tuesday's episode. And in addition to that, the list is on our social media channels. So you guys can go vote for my team to be the better team. It'll be fine. But we did that segment, and I was like, let me try to do something fun for the Royal Rumble in our last few minutes with each other on the show. So we technically have 15 minutes left, but if these guys keep striking out, I'm going to give you guys 3 strikes each. You guys strike out on these questions, then, all is fair. We'll go home, but we could be here for a marathon. You guys could go all the way back to the first ever Royal Rumble in 1988 if you guys are so great at this. And Shannon's a 49ers guy, so I had to make fun of his UNC Tar Heels. I had to make fun of his San Francisco 49ers because I knew he would make fun of me for my Cowboys, who just hired an offensive coordinator before we went on air, Clayton Adams, the Cardinals offensive line coach. He's now the offensive coordinator. We also got the Matt Eberflus, the former Bears head coach, is our defensive coordinator, former linebacker coach for the Cowboys, who coached Sean Lee, coached Anthony Hitchens, coached Bruce Carter, and we got
Who's Carolina guy? Bruce Carter, Carolina guy.
He was. You're welcome. You're welcome. And we also got the former 49ers 49ers defensive coordinator as our special teams coach, who also coached Jacksonville special teams back in 21. I do need a hug. I am a hugger. I'm a hugger. I'm a hugger. I don't know why you're sorry. Maybe it's because you're all the way across the country and I need a hug, but I like hugs.
You and Dallas can do it because you got Brian Schottenheimer in the heel of the ring.
He's the savior.
He's the truth.
Woo!
He's going to be our guy. He's going to get us back to the big day.
Hey, Sean, your Eagles won to fire Nick Sirianni week 2 of this year. Shannon, heck, you guys won to fire Kyle Shanahan week 2 this year.
No, not me. No.
Hey, if this Brian Schottenheimer hire works out, great. And if not, we'll just wait for, the 49ers to fire Kyle Shanahan and then hire him next year.
He can blow a Super Bowl for you. You know what I'm saying? He can blow a Super Bowl for you.
It's whatever. But the 49ers are going to have to figure out how to re-sign Mr. Irrelevant himself, Brock Purdy. And he is probably the only notable Mr. Irrelevant in NFL history because he just shocked people, even on his rookie deal, of how he just took over that 49ers offense, took it right out of the grasp of Jimmy Garoppolo. But a lot of people don't talk about Mr. Irrelevant in the Royal Rumble. We always talk about the winners, but we never talk about the last person eliminated in the Royal Rumble match. And so, guys, I'm going to go ahead and say I got a list of everyone who was the last eliminated competitor from men's and women's Royal Rumbles. I'm going to give you guys 3 strikes each. And whoever gets those 3 strikes first loses. Okay? I'll go ahead and do that. And so since Shannon has been, we'll go ahead and say it, busted my balls the entire episode. Shannon, I'm going to put you on the spot first. Okay?
Cool.
But it's a pretty easy one. You only have to think back to a year ago in 2024. And I'm going to ask you, who was last eliminated in the women's Royal Rumble match?
Oh, that was Liv, right? Liv.
Final answer?
Was that final answer, Liv? Liv Morgan?
I mean, boy, you got to run. You got to run. You got to run. Yeah, Liv Morgan last eliminated in the 2024 Women's Royal Rumble by Bayley. And Shannon got that right. Sean, yours is the 2024 Men's Royal Rumble. Who was last eliminated?
CM Punk.
CM Punk, that is right. CM Punk obviously getting last eliminated with a torn tricep, by the way, mind you. And he got eliminated by something, Cody Rhodes, I think. But in 2023, Shannon, yours is the Men's Royal Rumble.
Randy, right? No, it wasn't Randy. I think it was Randy Orton. I might be right on that one. I may. Maybe.
You think it was Randy Orton?
I'm not sure about that one. But is it Randy Orton?
Final answer?
I guess.
Man,
It's wrong.
It's not Randy Orton, but it's the guy who beat him in the King of the Ring tournament this past year. Gunther.
Yeah, it was Gunther.
Gunther.
Cody threw him over. It was Gunther. It was Cody and Gunther. Okay, never mind.
Mm-hmm. Now, Shawn, yours is about just as hard for the 2023 Women's Royal Rumble.
I was really hoping I was going to get the men's guy. I do Gunther because I'm a Gunther guy. Women's, I'm in the talks between two of them. It wasn't her because she main evented Mania, so I got to take her out now. That's what I was going to say. Let me see. I'm going to go with Bianca.
Final answer?
No, not Jax. I'm going Nia Jax. Nia Jax.
Nia Jax, final answer?
Final answer.
It wasn't Nia. It wasn't Bianca. I mean, we got to run it. We got to run again. It was Liv Morgan. It was Liv Morgan for a second year.
Got to run again.
Hey, maybe third time's a charm and she won't be, quote unquote, Mrs. Irrelevant. But yeah, Rhea eliminated Liv Morgan a couple years ago. Cody eliminated Gunther after they, pretty much went the distance back in 23. But in 2022, Shannon, who was the last woman eliminated in the 2022 Women's Royal Rumble?
I know it was I'm trying to remember that one. It was Charlotte. It was Charlotte.
Final answer?
Final answer. It was Charlotte because it was her and Ronda Rousey.
Shannon, you got it on the head right there. Back in 2022, right before WrestleMania 38, Rousey eliminated Charlotte Flair, and that match was so close to being an hour long. But it was longer, actually, than the Men's Royal Rumble match. Shawn, who was the last person eliminated in the 2022 Men's Royal Rumble?
I'm going to go out on a limb, but I don't know if this is the guy. I'm going to try it. Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre, final answer?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh,
well, Shawn, cold-blooded, right? Cold-blooded right there. You had Drew McIntyre eliminated by the Beast, Brock Lesnar, and that was right before the title unification of Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. And we got the 2021 Royal Rumble now, and Shannon, I'm giving you the Men's Royal Rumble. Who was last eliminated back in 2021 for the Men's Royal Rumble?
I'm thinking I don't know if that was the year that Shinsuke Nakamura won it. I might be off on that one. Dang. I don't know that one. I'm just going to go ahead and guess and say Sheamus on that one. I know I'm wrong. Go ahead.
Sheamus.
Go ahead and
final
say
answer?
Yeah, final answer. I'm wrong. I know.
Man, Shannon, if you had only, didn't get your years mixed up, because Edge won that Royal Rumble. It was the first pandemic Royal Rumble, and he last eliminated the guy you guessed a few rounds ago, Randy
Orton. Yeah, okay.
And so you guys both have, I believe you guys both have 2 strikes right now. So we are in sudden death right here. Okay? Now, Randy Orton was the last guy eliminated for the men's. But we did have a Women's Royal Rumble back in 2021. Okay? Shawn, who was the last woman eliminated back in 2021?
I took a guess, and I got a good guess in the last round. I'm going to take this guess. I said her before. She's been in the Final Four. Just can't remember what year. I think she's made to a Final 2. I'm going to say it again. Nia Jax.
Nia Jax, final answer?
Final answer.
Hey, when in doubt, you have to go with mommy. Rhea Ripley getting eliminated by Bianca Belair.
Bianca Belair. Because that was good Bianca and Sasha main event of Mania.
Which, by the way, if you guys haven't watched that match, you'll want to go back and watch that match. So these guys made it to the 2021 Royal Rumble. Congrats to Shannon. And Sean might have just saved you because you might not have even gotten the 2020 winner right, or 2020 loser, because that was going to be a close one, by the way. Because 2020 Shayna Baszler was there, and I wouldn't have even gotten that one. So Sean barely helps you out, Shan. Shan, I'm glad that you won because, you might not feel like a winner this weekend.
I'm going to tell you what. I'm here to tell you right now. If Duke does the choke job, you better be lucky I work Monday. You better be lucky I work Monday because I will be hosting Out of Pocket.
Remember the last time you put that on a wager?
Oh, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And you're gonna be sick. I mean, for real. I might just come on there and just take a flag and just plant it like college football and plant it and see what happens. We gonna find out. Woo.
Well,
hey, talking about that, I will say this. It was a high school in Greenville that I talked about planting the flag. They came and beat one of my high schools in my backyard, and their coach watches Out of Pocket all the time, so he probably gonna watch episode Fallout 11. He came and brought that same flag and played it at one of the schools I always talk about as a prestige school. Good friend of mine, Coach Battle, but hey, that's when you said that, it made me think about it. He's a big fan of the Boom Broadcasting Network.
Hey.
Shout out him. Let's go. I love that. And by the way, Sean's wearing Grit and Grind gear. You guys want to go follow him. He does It Stinks. He does W.o.D. W.o.D. was going to be tomorrow, but instead it is going to be the show we did last night. That's available on demand. Boom Broadcasting. We do our Royal Rumble predictions. Shannon is coming back with quick hits very soon. But I do want to say, this doesn't just say beat UNC. It says beat UNC. And we're going to have the UNC of Boom Broadcasting defeated this weekend as Duke beats UNC and beats UNC as well. So, our resident uncle of Boom Broadcasting, sorry, my friend. All right. That's enough for Out of Pocket on Boom Broadcasting, guys.
What'd you say, Mike? Huh? I can't hear you.
We're having some technical difficulties with Shannon's mic, but it's a great time on Boom Broadcasting, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Everyone have a great weekend. Mouth Down with Mike has the nightcap tonight after SmackDown. Tomorrow after the Royal Rumble, you'll want to tune in for that. For Shannon, for Sean, for myself, Michael Davis, this has been Out of Pocket on Boom Broadcasting, and we'll see you guys back here on Monday after Duke beats UNC.
Well, that's it. I really hope you enjoyed it. We had a ball making it. Thank you very much.